All right, legends. How's everybody doing? Let's analyze the situation here for Bitcoin. And we are going to take a look at the FOMC minutes, a little review, very quick one, really nothing new. But we're going to go through that. We're going to go through the dollar index and take a look at some altcoins. They are getting a little bit of a hit right now. Stock market is getting also a pretty nice move to the downside because of the FOMC minutes. We're going to go through that right away, guys. So make sure to stay tuned. I'm going to go quickly through the comment section, say hello to the beautiful community. I do expect these lows on Bitcoin to be taken. I'm going to explain a little bit with Elliot wave theory and a little bit of technical analysis, what has been going on here. This was the trading zone. This was the trading zone. I'm going to explain this area now in the next coming minutes. Okay, just with pure technical analysis, why this move to the upside was a high chance that it was actually not going to continue to the upside. It was massive bearish CVD divergence. Anyway, we'll go through the technicals right now on Bitcoin. Most importantly, I would expect these lows created from yesterday at the $69,150 to be taken based on this move. I wouldn't expect the price here bouncing and coming all the way up to the highs. It could, but overall, we'll be explaining here a few of the scenarios. Let me go quickly through the comment section, say hello to the beautiful community, and then go through. Start off with Bitcoin technical analysis, right, on the higher time frames, then zooming in on the lower time frames and understand where we at right now. Okay, very likely to get one more wave to the upside to take those highs from Monday, sorry. However, where can we bounce, right? It would be really nice to take these lows, right? I'm going to explain. You know, this is for me is a game of longs and shorts. Okay, for me it's longs and shorts. No matter if we are in a bull market on higher time frames or bear market, I'm looking for these ranges and these day trade scenarios, and they're very, very complex to find. You know, as a day trader and a scalper, they're very, very hard. You can change opinion depending on the data in a matter of minutes, and I'm going to explain why I was actually looking for a long here, but then obviously saw the price action and flipped bearish right over here, and I'll explain right away. I'm going to try and explain that, okay, guys, in the next coming minutes. Anthony, I'm doubting between Copenhagen and Stockholm in 4 months. Anthony, how are you doing? Marcus, when do we get the data? Data has been out. But basically really nothing new. Basically, the economy activity has continued to expand and at a solid pace. That is what we got here from the Federal Reserve press release. This was released today at 2 p.m. Eastern time. Job gains have remained strong and the unemployment rate has remained low. So overall, economy, job employment is strong. Inflation has eased over the past year, but still remains elevated. So, I mean, this is only talking about good things, right? Only talking about good things about the economy so this is why we are taking a little bit of a hit on the stock market and crypto, because apparently everything's going very, very well in the US, or that's how they are painting it. And DXY has had a pretty nice move to the upside. Dollar staying strong, dollar index staying strong here with the release, and stock market getting a little bit of a hit here, a little bit of a move down here just on the release. Basically about 30 minutes ago. Just taking a little bit of a hit right there. Also with Bitcoin, I don't really care. Obviously, we need to take into consideration the news that is going on. But I'm going to explain why I entered into a short position here on Bitcoin just about an hour ago, right? Even though I knew there was news coming, very, very defensive. But I'm going to explain why I entered a short position at this area right over here. Right, because this was a make it or break it moment, and I will explain it with Elliot wave theory. No doubt in my mind that these lows are going to be taken right there. We're just a few $100s away from taking that low. It wouldn't make sense to make a V-shaped recovery. Could it happen? Of course it can, but very unlikely. With those lows are just going to be taken in the next hour. That is very, very highly likely right now with this move down. So I will be explaining a long trading setup that I am looking for, no doubt. It would have to be a claim of those lows and the price action to actually get back above. Then we can start looking bullish, look at this as an end corrective structure, And then we'll be looking at these highs to be taken tomorrow potentially, right? I'm going to explain a little bit of the waves, looking at Fibonacci and Elliott wave theory, see if you guys can understand this. I'm going to do my best to explain it extremely basic, going to more advanced. I know a lot of people might be new, a lot of people might be advanced, but I will be going through that now in the next coming minutes. Best TA out there, says Izat. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I wouldn't say I'm the best, but I do try and figure out, you know, what are the highest probability scenarios. Maybe Nvidia earnings pump it a bit later on. That is also true. That is also true. We do have Nvidia earnings later on, and yeah, that could V-shaped recovery, right? Nvidia earnings do definitely have an effect on the on crypto, right? Tech markets, that is for sure. I see a big bull flag. You see a big bull flag formation. Yeah, maybe a little bit like of a pennant formation, right? Yeah, maybe like a bull flag or a pennant right over here. No doubt that this does look quite corrective, right, compared to the price action that we've been having the last few days, right? Very impulsive, very corrective sideways, very impulsive, very corrective. You know, I am interested in long positions. However, we need to take these lows first. Then I'll be interested. Once we take these lows right there, for anybody that has been long in here a little bit too early, I'm going to explain why it does make sense to take those lows. And as we reclaim the lows again, then it's going to be looking pretty juicy, pretty good for the price then to come up and at least take these highs. Then we'll consider, you know, the price action here. Maybe it will form another lower high right there. I will explain why that is a possibility. However, thank you for these lives. You and 𝗬𝗍𝘆 are awesome. Thank you very much for that. Very kind comment. So really not much to say about the FOMC recap, FOMC minutes recap, right? Just a little bit of this. It's pretty obvious that he's going to talk about, you know, nothing but good stuff about the, you know, the US, the economy, job gains have remained strong. It's just we're not going to go through this. He's basically bullish on the US economy and the dollar. So yeah, markets have had a pretty decent impact to the downside, just as we got that release just over 30 minutes ago. We got a pretty nice move to the downside on the S&P 500 of 0.4%, right, which is a pretty decent drop on the stock market. And Bitcoin has got a hit here of over $1,000 during the last hour. So let me go through some scenarios. How are the minutes of the 3-week-old meeting relevant when we saw CPI at 3.4 mid-May after the meeting? Bullish divergence on the low time frame, big time. Let's take a look at that. So why you took the short? Yeah, let's go right away, because I was looking for a long position, right? I'm just going to explain this short that I did take on Bybit. Got into that short right there at the highs, and my stop loss was very close. I'm going to explain why I got into this short position. The main reason why I took profits right there, I'm going to take more profits as we do claim the low, is because we are dancing around from this pivot low. But I'm going to explain why I took this short position, and mainly because of bearish CVD divergence. It has to do with Elliott wave theory as well. Just let me zoom out here and explain a little bit where we at right now, okay? Because I'm going to go with the pivot low from the 1st of May, right? Because we ain't going to go too fancy with Elliott wave theory, but I'm just going to go with this pivot low right over here, with this being a wave 1, right? This being a wave 2. This being a wave 3, okay? And inside of this wave 3, okay, inside of this wave 3, we have already formed 5 waves. We've already formed 5 waves from the pivot low of wave 2. You know, there is 5 waves. Anybody that is not aware of Elliott wave theory, you know, moves in 5 impulsive waves to the upside or to the downside, and ABC corrective moves, right? 3 waves or more complex corrective waves in a WXY or an ABCDE, but we ain't going to talk about that. Right now here, with this move to the upside, with these 5 waves, it seems like 5 waves have been completed already, okay, inside of this 3rd wave. What I do see here possibly forming in the next couple of days, right, give or take a couple of days, and we no doubt that we could shoot back up here, is a little bit of a more of a rangy scenario, right? And then take the highs just based on the timing. Just based on the timing, it doesn't look like that these highs are going to be taken just yet. So when I'm analyzing this possible scenario, there is only one invalidation point. No doubt that this could have been, okay, this could have been already an ABC move right there in the fourth wave. We have formed 3 little smaller waves, okay, during yesterday and part of today, basically. It wouldn't make sense for this to finish as a fourth wave because it's too shallow. It can, no doubt, I'm going to say it can obviously, but it's a little bit too shallow. And then take a look, make a move on a fifth wave here to the upside. It would be a little bit too shallow for this to be a fourth wave in timing and also on retracement. When we take a look at this pivot low to the pivot high, yes, we have hit the 236, right, which is kind of the minimum requirement for a fourth wave, and we just hit that level yesterday night. We have formed 3 little wave structures. However, in timing, the fourth wave, it's really too shallow in time. They're usually at least equal than a second wave in timing, or maybe even double or 3 times larger in timing, okay? So a fourth wave can go massively in time here, much larger than a second corrective wave, right? Just like we had here from the 6th of May till the, basically till the 11th of May. So because of that, this is using a little bit of Elliott wave theory, of course, to take a decision short position at this point, plus the bearish CVD divergence. Okay, let me just explain right over here, because the good thing about this is your invalidation point, okay, because this will no longer be 1, 2, 3, 4, all right. If you overlap the first wave, then this will be looking pretty impulsive, right? If this starts moving up, then I would say, okay, this is not impulsive to the downside. This is rather an ABC, right? This is rather an ABC, and we're going to start rocketing to the upside here in the next coming hours, and start breaking all of these lower highs and reach the highs here from Tuesday, basically, right? That's it, $72,000. However, if you are speculating on this to take those lows once, take those lows that we haven't taken it today, okay, with these higher lows right there, your invalidation point here can be above the wave 1, okay, which is slightly almost hit it. It slightly almost hit the wave 1 on this wave 4. And you also have the 618 Fibonacci, right? 618 Fibonacci as the ultimate level for a fourth wave, right? Ideally, it's the 382 or the 50%. It's usually in between that range. And if you do have that fourth wave overlapping the 61865 Fibonacci and the wave 1, then you know that this is just likely going to take these lower highs. So in this case, if you are speculating a fourth wave here, and you could take those lows, right? Whether it's a failed fifth wave or basically just a, or a much larger wave, we don't know how this fifth wave can develop, right? It can be a truncated fifth wave right there, or it can basically smash through the third wave. So about this short position, when you see the CVD divergence, guys, and this is very, very powerful, no doubt, internally here, you were forming pretty significant bearish CVD divergence, right? When you take a look at these pivots right there, you're forming lower highs, and it's looking at this pivot, you're forming higher highs right there on the CVD. Also here in the blue, right, which is most of the exchanges, you're basically on all of the exchanges, you're starting to get a bit of FOMO moment here on the price action to the upside. And you're getting absorbed by larger players. Looks like larger players with this small consolidation here on the lower time frame. You were consolidating here on the 3 minute, right? Small little double top. There's really no volume, big volume breaking out from this area, from these highs. When we break out from certain highs, right? And you can count this as a liquidity grab, right? You claim some highs, you claim some lows, and you look to jump to the other side, right? It's kind of classic. Liquidity zone is these highs over here. And I had a decision here of either going long or going short. For me, this was my trading zone. I didn't have any trading zone today inside of this area. My trading zone was once we claim these highs or claim these lows, that is when I will decide if I'm going to get into a long or a short position, depending on how we claim the levels. So, I mean, this is why for me, these predictions, I mean, on higher time frame, I could say, yeah, we are likely going to take these highs potentially in the coming days. Okay. However, I'm interested in internal levels here and how could they play out. So when we claimed these highs from today at $70,400 with this price action, yeah, for me, I was in doubt a little bit. I was in doubt that this was a solid breakout. And the good thing about this is your invalidation. I mean, if you are going to overlap the first wave, it's really not worth getting into a short position and having a stop loss here, right? For example, and you're aiming for the lows. I'm having like squeezed stop losses, all right, based on invalidation here above the first wave. If you're going to come all the way up to the 7/8 Fibonacci, this is no longer impulsive to the downside. This is already looking pretty bullish, right? It would not make sense here to overlap the first wave, get above the 618 Fibonacci from the wave 2 to the wave 3. This is like, okay, you know, I was wrong, right? This is where I would accept that I was wrong, and it's unlikely to get this move up here and come down. Okay, it can happen, of course, but it's unlikely. So it's just realizing the invalidation point where I'm happy to say, okay, I'm wrong about this. And if we would have got that breakout very solidly here, well overlapping the, because I didn't get exactly at the highs. I got here after we created this local swing failure pattern, that choppiness. Okay, I didn't exactly short here. Once we got the choppiness and the weakness and the very low volume on this move, I'm like, you know, this does not look like it wants to push up from this point, and it still could be a fourth wave. So this zone, because even with the Legends community, I was saying, look, this is my trading zone. These lows or these highs. And there are a couple of setups that I'm looking at, of course. Well, there's this one right over here. I was looking for a solid breakout. I would have been happy to long on this breakout. But for me, it was very clear. We need high volume. We need to overlap this peak right there. We need to overlap it. If we overlap it and we have some pretty intense volume above these highs and overlapping this level and surpassing the 618, it would have been looking pretty good to get that continuation to the upside, start sweeping up these lower highs, and even have a possible setup here to get to these highs over here. However, the breakout was very poor and we were still beneath the low. And after 30 minutes of consolidating here at this range, I was like, you know, it either moves up or starts moving down here. And what helped me take that decision, okay, what did help me take that decision was the bearish CVD divergence, right? You cannot have a huge amount of retail traders, you know, massive higher highs here, and the price very far away still in basically these pivot highs, okay, very far away still. no doubt that you could pick up very, very fast. This is why we need the price. We need to react at the price action, right? Because I did not short this as soon as we got above. As soon as I was getting above, I was actually pretty interested in the long position. As we were here, I'm not shorting. I'm steadily looking at, what's going to be the next movement, realizing this pivot low. Because we might just do this, and then I'm like, okay, this looks pretty bullish. I would be expecting, these highs basically from yesterday to be taken. And there is a zone here to jump into some longs, no doubt. There is a zone to jump into longs when you're looking at volume strategy, for example. So if you start getting some high volume movements here to the upside, right? Some nice peak high volume like this, bang, you're breaking through very likely. You're overlapping this horizontal line, which is that wave one. And you are basically looking for volume strategies here to basically continue the uptrend. That looks pretty powerful. But that was not the case. That was not the case. We were forming bearish CVD divergence. We were creating choppiness at this range. And a kind of a confirmation would have been basically losing this high a little bit right there. Okay, you're losing steam, especially losing the previous day value area low. Okay, if you do lose the previous day value area low, then you do know that this movement to the upside is just not sustainable. It's not looking good. Previous day value area low was pretty far away. We did get one quick little bounce there. It was a decision moment. I take decisions if my invalidation point is very, very tight, and I get stopped out a lot of the times, not gonna lie. A lot of the times you just get stopped out with good risk management. But when it plays out, it plays out, it pays off, right? When it plays out, it pays off, 2, 3, 4 times more. So that's just a brief explanation on that movement. It was a decision point. Right now, we're just consolidating a little bit at this range. I would be expecting these lows to be claimed no matter how far this bounces. This is really not an incredible long trade for me at the moment. This is really, I would not personally long where we at right now. I would want to see these lows claimed at the 69,200, right? The 69,100 to 200. That is going to be the decision moment. Once we cross that green box, just like this was this decision moment here. Once we cross this green box, and there's no need to cross it, but it's my point, it's my level where I'm going to take a trading decision. Just imagine we get a V-shaped recovery right now. I'll be like, okay, it is what it is, but I'm really not interested in this area at this current moment. So I don't know if we're going to V-shape recovery. I know it's highly likely those lows are going to be taken in the next coming hours, and I'll probably will be sleeping. But if that were to be the case, and we are zooming out here, looking at Elliott wave theory, and this is, I don't want to get too extremely complex here, but I'm going to try and explain as good as possible. If I am speculating that this is a third wave right over here, and we are inside of the fourth wave, it should be taking a few more days, a couple of more days to develop the fourth wave before we take those highs at $72,000, which I do think they're likely going to be taken, just not quite just yet, right? Not in the next coming hours anyway. So if I am, if once we take this low, if we do, right? If we do, because there's also the possibility of a truncated fifth wave, but I would like to see that, that low taken. Once that low is taken, we can speculate for longs, especially if you swing failure pattern. If we do finally just sweep those lows, and it might go much lower, okay? We just don't know. We just don't know how low this can go. However, you just say that we stop at 68,600 or 68,200. I don't know. A reclaim of this low will be looking pretty good. That is the moment where I will be looking, okay? I will be speculating on that ABC, okay? And I would be looking for these highs of today to be taken, right? Depending on how we correct. I don't know if this is going to happen, but it's a plan. It's a plan, right? I don't know if we are going to move down to this level or smash through and go to 67,500 or maybe even recover in a V shape here. But when we count the waves, it does make sense that this is likely going to be a scenario, especially if you do reclaim these lows from early this morning, right? Sorry, late last night, which is at $69,200, sorry. So sweep up those lows, and yeah, it would make sense. It would make sense for this scenario. Form an ABC right there and sweep up these highs. And that is when it's going to get very interesting. It's a lot of drawing and a lot of speculation, no doubt. It's a lot of drawing and speculation at the moment, but I'm just looking at the levels on where I would react and where we could take some trading decisions. So yeah, just don't want to get it too complex here, guys, okay, and give you my ideas. I want you to understand a little bit, because we react at certain levels. And if we were to take, say that the price moves down here, takes the lows, I don't know how powerful this movement is going to be, but I would be willing to get into a long position once we get back above acceptance above those lows. And this is a really good level. It is a high confluence level from this pivot low here, from this pivot low to the pivot high. It is the 50% Fibonacci, and I'm looking for this sweep of this low. I would even consider a swing failure pattern from that pivot low over here. It's a beautiful low to get a retest, right? That's sitting at 68,900. I would consider a swing failure pattern from this level, no doubt. Okay, it's definitely possible. You need to get the recovery, and I would be speculating that to be a pretty good long position, only if we do recover above it. Because I know the deal, maybe some people putting some limit longs at that level, and then the price just does this, poof, and rolls down another $1,000, right? We need to set the alerts and react accordingly on that price action. So take that low, come back up, then we can consider that long position with stop loss beneath the low to get the rise in between today and tomorrow. And I would be targeting for this high right there. I would be speculating on an ABC move in a B wave. We'll get to that tomorrow if we do form this price action, okay? Because that's just a lot of speculation, right? I could just say but you know, this is really what I would be kind of expecting. Maybe not too aggressive here, but I would be expecting something like this, based on the fourth wave that we are in. I want to believe that we are in this fourth wave formation, and it's still very, very soon to take those highs above $72,000, and we're going to see a little bit of ranging. Very classic in a fourth wave. They're usually long and boring, and you don't go nowhere. And I love these ranges to speculate onto some scalp day trades. This is where I know how to make the money. I don't know how to make money when the price is volatile. When the price is moving very fast to the upside or very fast to the downside, I don't know how to trade it. I know how to trade the levels and where we could react based on data, based on Fibonacci. Hopefully you have understood the main reason of this short, and you understand the next trading plan. Because I am in a short right now, but I want to get into a long. Okay, I mean, I'm shorting right there. It's a nice little day trade, right? Probably gonna bank $1,000 if we do come below the $69,200. And it's a nice day trade, right? It's a nice day trade, realizing the levels, realizing the weakness, and understanding that, you know, where the price could go. But I know a lot of people are like, this dude's really bearish or this dude's bullish. I'm bullish and bearish at the same time. I'm in a short right now. I've taken most of the profits on this short. I've got in a few swing long positions, very low leverage on some altcoins, right? I'm really not an altcoin trader myself. But you know, these are other long positions based on higher, you know, basically for the next coming weeks and months. I'm bearish and I'm bullish. I'm really interested in looking for a long position. Really interested in looking for a long position once we've claimed these lows. Once we claim the lows here at from yesterday at 69,200, I will be flipping to look for a long. Based on what I've explained here, based on maybe this, I am looking for an A, B, C, and then look for the big epic move up here, potentially by Saturday, Sunday, or maybe Monday, right? Based on the timing. Just because this move right there, we've formed 5 waves during the last week. We have formed 5 waves here, and you can count them from this pivot low. There is 5 waves. We could not deny that. It would be very strange to break up from these highs. Of course it can, because that means this would already be the 4th wave. This already has been the 4th wave. It's hit the 0.236 Fibonacci from 2 to 3, and it could just do this. It is possible. It is definitely possible, no doubt. It's unusual. It doesn't usually happen. You probably get the 4th wave dancing around here for a little bit after this epic run that we've had the last few days. We've had an epic run in between Sunday and Monday. It's just looking at the probability scenarios. What would be very interesting right now is if we do recover up in the next coming hours. Say that right now we start moving to the upside. We have not claimed this low, and we suddenly get a kind of a V-shaped recovery in the next coming hours, and we start breaking above this high. That is going to be extremely bullish. That will invalidate what I am talking about right now. That will be bullish, and without a doubt, you get back above the highs here created a few hours ago, you are likely going to come up and test, at least this high over here, and very possibly the highs here from Tuesday. Why? Because that means that this is no longer a possible impulsive move down. It is still possible for this to be the ABC end. Right? This means that this will be the end right there. And that you could be seeing a very complex, wave 1 here and a 1, 2, 1, 2. Very choppy. It is unlikely, in my opinion. It is unlikely right now to just form a higher low right there. These lows are very likely to be taken in the coming hours. But if you are going to start moving above this high and you're overlapping this pivot over here, it's like game on. This is going to be game on, game on. This is going to form that 5th wave in the coming days. So getting above this high right there, overlapping this 1st wave, this price action will bullish. I will not look for a swing failure pattern here. I will, this will likely successfully move up already to claim those highs. Once you get above this high, if you get a bit of punchy volume right there, this is going to be bullish. This is just going to continue to the upside. So anybody looking for short positions here is just likely going to get burnt if they cannot manage risk very well. So that's a little bit of the scenarios. Getting above this high in between today and tomorrow is going to be bullish. I would be expecting these highs to be taken. There are some long triggers here, no doubt, following the trend, following the bullish momentum. And if you do come down and claim this low over here at 69,200, I'm waiting for the reclaim. And then I would be targeting these highs, long position, stop beneath the low, bang, look for that movement to the upside. We need that liquidity grab. We need the liquidity grab beneath the lows in between Monday and Tuesday. We need that liquidity grab. Once we got the liquidity and we get acceptance back above, we can come back to today's highs, right? That's the overall plan here. A little bit of range trading, guys. Hopefully you have understood a little bit here what is the scenario. Tomorrow we have full moon. Supposedly full moon we got here. Tomorrow we do have, I'm going to go through the comment section, guys. Hopefully this hasn't been extremely complex to understand. Hopefully you have got a little bit of an idea of a little bit more of Elliott wave theory. CVD divergence as well. It's a very powerful tool to use with your trading. Hopefully you have enjoyed a little bit of that education on the technical analysis and where, how I would take the decisions, right? Sign of weakness, sign of strength, getting above certain levels, getting below certain levels, and what we need to see here to take the next trading decision. Bybit for me, #1 crypto trading platform. 𝗬𝗫 is also great. If you haven't got an account on 𝗬𝗫, they do have the lowest fees available on most of the, basically from all exchanges that I know. You do have a great bonus down below on Bybit. Bybit for me is #1. If you cannot trade on Bybit, I know a lot of people cannot trade on Bybit. You have Bluffing or 𝗬𝗫. Bluffing with the highest bonus of up to $80,000 and 𝗬𝗫 $20,000, guys. You got exclusive bonuses. They are no KYC platforms. Just with an email and a password, you can sign up on 𝗬𝗫 or on Bluffing in no time. So I'm going to go through the comment section and we're going to take a look at DXY looks pretty bullish. DXY dollar index looks pretty powerful. I want to go through the dollar index and make you understand a little bit of the macro on the dollar index, looking at the last couple of years and the last few months. Looks very it looks bullish. We are in a bullish momentum and we are at crucial support zone. It would be really nice to break down this support level, because that will definitely help out with the alt season in the next coming weeks, with the crypto season, right? Get those crypto pumps on basically an altcoin season, right? Get all the cryptocurrency pumping and also the markets. If we get this major level of support of where we're bouncing right now on the dollar index, we want a weak dollar index. We don't want a strong dollar index, because that's when we get those moves to the downside on Bitcoin, crypto, and stocks in general. So let me just quickly take a look at this here from somebody that is saying in the comment section. It is full moon. 𝗬𝗫, thanks for joining the stream, my brother. Smash up the like button, guys. I don't know what's going on with the like button on my channel, you lazy boogers. Smash up the like button. How many likes do we have right now? Very low, I bet. Very low. Very low. Yeah, over 100 likes. That's good enough. It's good enough. Thanks, Legends, for the support. But it is full moon. I remember 𝗬𝗏 is a fan. He is a fan of full moon. The full moon indicator, right? Let's take a look at that. I am, this is full moon. What is it? The moon phases. We are having full moon, somebody is saying, I think tomorrow, right? Full moon. Moonboot Boy, thanks for joining, my man, Seb. I remember this was interesting because we did have full moon 2 weeks, about a month ago, right? Yeah. We did have full moon and there was a lot of people talking about this on Twitter. I know 𝗬𝗏 has been a huge fan of this indicator because no doubt in an uptrend, it's been working very well. Once you get a full moon, bang. Once you get a full moon, move to the upside. 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 And yeah, the latest full moon in April didn't work out too good. We did just get a drop a few days after, which was a drop of over $7,000 to $8,000 after that full moon. So, and we have a full moon, right, in the next coming days. I don't know exactly what day it's going to be, but are we expecting the full moon to be bullish on where we at right now? Higher time frame, I would be expecting the highs to be taken at $72,000. We do have a lot of liquidity up there. There's just massive liquidity at that zone. I think it's right. Yeah, there's still about $6, $7, $8 billion of short liquidation. So all of those swing short traders or that are adding to the position, not like me, if the price of Bitcoin moves up right now to 70,600, I'm getting stopped out at break even, already taken, part of profits. But the ones that have stop losses or liquidation prices are much higher and not managing risk very well, then obviously they're gonna get wrecked, right? There's billions of dollars, as you can see here on the liquidity heat map. I mean, it's crazy. There's 5.6 billion at 73,890. There's 3.9 billion at 73,575. At 73,254, there's 4.4 billion. I mean, there is over $10 billion at the all-time high region in between $72,000 and $75,000. I would be expecting those highs to be taken after this corrective move, no doubt. But Bitcoin, yeah, I've explained the scenarios at the beginning of the stream, guys. Anybody that is joining the live stream right now, just so you know my opinion on the technical analysis, make sure to check out the first 10-20 minutes where I go a little bit in detail on the day trading setups that I am looking at here for Bitcoin. A little bit of some day trading setups. And do you know what is curious about this? Do you know what is curious about this? What would be the ultimate buying zone for Bitcoin for me would be coming all the way down to $67,000. And the main reason why, and this makes insane sense, it does make insane sense if we are going to expect a little bit more of a corrective move. I would be very happy to get into even a swing long position at that level. And that's purely based on, I would be looking at something like this. And yeah, basically, the main reason why I would be looking at something like this, you cannot overlap this peak high. You cannot overlap this peak high, right? This is very far away. It's at 65,500, right? You would not want to see the price going all the way down there. However, this is on higher time frame analysis. You do have the point of control of the entire range of March and April, where we did get resistance back in April. We did get resistance here in May. This is a technical resistance zone that should be flipping into massive support. Now, don't say we could not go all the way down there. This is only a $2,500 move. This is nothing for Bitcoin, right? No doubt it can do that. So that for me would be an epic long position. That really would be an epic long position, purely based on fourth wave. You're looking for the all-time highs. You're looking for these highs above $72,000 to be claimed. Get the people a little bit worried. Get the people a little bit bearish. This would be the zone. Pivot low of wave 2 to the pivot high of wave 3. And look in between the 382 50%, which is the common target zone for a fourth wave. And in the middle, we have the point of control of the range, which has been the proven zone of resistance of April and May. Look at the price action in April and in May. You're looking at the waves, the momentum here to the upside. And that would be kind of the ideal scenario in a perfect world, right? In a perfect world, that would be the ideal scenario. And it does make sense. It does make sense because wave 2 has taken roundabout, it hasn't taken an insane amount of time. It did take five days, approximately 5 days right there. But wave 4s are usually even double or triple of wave 2. So it would be the ideal scenario. I mean, there is the possibility that this has been a really small wave 4, okay? Because wave 4s can also be very, very small. They can just retrace to the 236 Fibonacci, which we have already hit at 69,200 just yesterday. This is the thing about about Elliott wave theory as well. It is unlikely, but it is possible. Maybe that was the wave 4 right there, especially if we do not take those lows of yesterday and then look for the 5th wave for in the next coming days. That is where it's going to get interesting. This is where it's going to get interesting because I personally think that we're not going to go to $100,000, right, in the next coming weeks. This will get a big epic pullback. For sure. Very, very likely that this is going to get a pullback once we hit all-time highs. I don't see the FOMO stage here of breaking all-time highs and going to $90,000, right? I think it's very, very unlikely. However, I will be holding my Bitcoin just in case that does play out, right, on your spot investment. Anyway, let's go. Elliot Wave, Aditya, my brother. 𝗬liche. Let's take a look at 𝗬liche. I think it's not bad. We're going to take a look at Cardano and a lot of these altcoins. I think they are good, and a lot of them are in kind of good, okay buying zones. If you want to build a long-term portfolio, low leverage swing long position, I think a lot of altcoins, Cardano, I think looks pretty good. I do see Cardano. We spoke about this one yesterday. I think this could be building a massive double bottom. Yeah, it's holding a little bit on a thread here from higher low support of the last week. I wouldn't be too worried about this zone. I think it's unlikely that we are going to get a big drop down to 30 cents. I think a very, very low leverage swing long position, 1% of your trading capital. And if it does come down, you can add to that position, looking for a very, very long swing long trade setup, purely based on this large corrective move that we've had in between March and April. The whole main reason why, if you want to build I think that altcoins are at good DCAing levels. No doubt, if you do drop a little bit lower, fantastic. You can buy cheaper. But the main reason why is because you formed the first bull wave. This is the first bull wave. And this is the corrective wave. The second and last chance corrective move, where it might get choppy. It might get a little bit choppy. It might take a few months. However, some of them might bounce, then come back down. I don't think a lot of the altcoins are going to start rocketing just yet in the next 1 to 2 weeks, right? It's still going to get choppy. And I think this is it, but we are at DCAing levels. Maybe this bull run is going to go faster than we think. No doubt it's at DCAing levels. All of this area is DCAing levels purely based on we already hitting the 618 Fibonacci. We already at 618. Common wave 2s are at 50%, 618 and 78. Ultimate level would be the 0.88 for a wave 2, which would be very aggressive. Bitcoin did hit the 0.88 and based on the previous cycle when we had the C19 crash. So it's an ultimate level for a wave 2. But no doubt this is a wave 2. No doubt in my mind. No matter how long it takes, if it takes 3 weeks or 40 weeks, it doesn't matter. This is going to bottom out at some point, and then you're going to see this price action. It's going to happen. It will happen, guys. It's just probably going to be boring, and it's going to be choppy, and you might claim the lows again. And it's just going to be a game of being patient for those that are basically buying and holding, right? Buying and holding. And you can build a nice swing long position, but if you're building a swing long position, you need to be ready to add a small allocation on that drop and have your liquidation price very, very far away. In this case, you would not have, you cannot put more than a 3x leverage on some of these altcoins if you're willing to build up a good position. Because if you're using a 10, 20x, you get the deal, right? You get a 10% drop and you're getting liquidated unless you're ready to absolutely massively add to that position, which is, obviously, in my opinion, is not I don't recommend that. I'm getting into a 10x leverage and I'm going to just add. You need to add every 10% drop, right? Which is a lot. I would really go chilled, low leverage, and keep it for a, maybe 6 to 12 months swing long position. Let's take a look here at the super chat right away. Valerie, hello. Singularity very bullish. Singularity X is very bullish. Smash the like button, says Cryptic Sniper. Thank you very much, my brother. Guys, smash up the like button, you lazy boogers. And let's continue here. Singularity X, Andy, can you look at big time? Looks dead. I know, my man. I know big time looks a little bit dead. Even though it looks dead, at the same time it looks like it's at an epic level. This is at basically the rock bottom levels. if you want to buy a crypto, and you know, the game is it's a cool project. No, don't get me wrong. You know, big time. It's there is a lot of mixed sentiment. It is a live gaming NFT project. You can actually play the game. It's not too bad. I'm going to say it's not too bad. It's pretty okay. Once gaming starts kicking off, I mean, this is a live game. Website is slightly laggy, but it's a pretty cool. If you like really freaky and you like these kind of games, I think it's not a bad game. I've seen the gameplay and it's pretty cool. I like the NFT market as well. I think it could do very well once gaming starts kicking off. However, when you look at the chart, it looks pretty. I mean, this is the zone that you would want to be bullish. It's at rock bottom levels. It is at rock bottom levels. I think this is not a bad zone to accumulate. Maybe a low leverage swing long position. I do really think that this is the zone. You're basically at rock bottom levels. You know, you ain't gonna find much selling pressure after the selling pressure we've had the last few months. This is down big time. This is bad. This is big time is down big time. From the highs created here in December, this has already had an 85% drop. This is like a pure bear market drop. I think it looks pretty good. I like it on the chart. I really do. I really do. You can see how the sideways momentum, the selling pressure has got extremely exhausted here. There's really not much room more to drop at this zone after this huge consolidation of the last 30 to 40 days. You're holding here this point of control of this consolidation as well. You've got a lot of volume here. So it's a reaccumulation zone in my personal opinion, okay? In my personal opinion, it does look like that this is a pretty nice reaccumulation zone. I just bought it, says Shem. Yeah, no, I mean, it does look really good. If you want to buy anything, no financial advice, looking at a chart where it looks dead. And this is a working gaming project, okay? It's a cool game. I'm not going to say it's the best, but I've seen the gameplay. It's not too bad. It looks pretty good and pretty cool, actually. It has a chance. Once gaming and altcoins start picking up, this is going to pick up, no, without a doubt. Okay, so double bottom spot. Double bottom, says Aditya. Let's take a look here. Bought it yesterday, says Shem Stories. Yeah, no doubt, no doubt. This is and if it does get a little bit more choppy and a little bit more sideways, this is something to not to worry. Okay, this is something not to worry, because I can already tell you that the selling pressure is exhausted already. You might go a little bit lower, but like I said, you got a higher probability in this doing this at some point than actually doing this. Okay, you might get a little wick to the downside, but overall it looks really, really good. This is like when we're talking about Chainlink and when we're talking about, you know, many other different good crypto projects 10 months ago, where I was going absolutely crazy. I'm saying, guys, this is the bottom. This is good. This is the bottom range. And I was already talking about this the end of 2022. I was extremely bullish for many, many months here. And we had almost a year more of consolidation on Chainlink in between the $5 and $9 range. It was extremely boring, but I was bullish. I was very bullish already here at this zone, because we already saw the selling pressure get exhausted. We were already going sideways for a few months here. And I was like, this is bullish. This is bullish. This is going to pop. It's going to pop. Could we be a little bit here another few more months? Yes, but it's going to pop out. It's going to pop out. I bought like crazy here, Chainlink. I was buying like a maniac. Really buying like crazy, Chainlink. Just understanding that this was an accumulation zone. The bear market, selling pressure is finished. It's done with. This is accumulation. And I wouldn't say that this is exactly the same on big time. It's not exactly the same on big time, because we've only been 4 weeks here at this range, and it could go sideways for quite a bit. But it's similar. It's a similar small little zone where you're at rock bottom levels from the early stages of big time back in October, November of 2023. And you're likely going to get that bounce. Can you please do some analysis on MOVR21 as a potential target? 21 as a potential target. Let's take a look at that one right away. That is Moon River, if I'm not mistaken. Big time is extremely weak against Bitcoin. Yeah, that is for sure. I would not want to take a look at that chart. Big time BTC. Yeah, it will look like it's kind of wrecked against Bitcoin. Anyway, let's take a look at this one right away. MOVR, Moon River. What do we have here for Moon River? Let's zoom out on the daily, and I really like this one. This one got a massive hype pump. This is one of the altcoins that we did analyze back in December of 2023, looking at the descending wedge, looking at, I think this was one of my best calls on YouTube before it broke out. We did get some pretty good calls back in December, which did about a 2x or 50% pump or 100% pump. But if I will look for that video if you wish, or basically nobody cares right now after it happened, but really good breakout prediction here, and this went well up, then much more than I expected, no doubt. I was looking at the highs of the wedge and these highs to be taken, not this massive gigantic pump. But yeah, Moon River is a very interesting project, and no doubt it is this pullback that we're having right now, very choppy. I would want to see a little bit of more time here. I would give it a little bit more of time. It is moving to the upside. I really want to see a little bit more of sideways momentum in the case of Moon River. But no doubt, if you're looking for the higher time, basically for the next coming years, this is an accumulation stage, no doubt, already. Why? Because you have broken the brutal bear market structure already with this massive wave you had in December, and you got a brutal corrective move right now that is going to bottom out here. This will form a higher low. It will form a higher low. As it's an altcoin, it is getting wicks to the upside and to the downside. It claims highs and claims lows, right? As you can see, this is very unpredictable. But if you're looking to buy and hold for the long term, we are already at very good levels based on Elliott wave theory, and it is a good project, no doubt. 61878 Fibonacci is the zone. Ultimate brutal retracement for that wave 2 would be the 0.88, and that would be around about $8.30 in the case of Moon River. This is your golden box, and I'll come back here to this video and say that this area is your buying zone. This is your buy zone right over here. This is zone of buying. This is area of buy, and this is going to go to the highs here in the next coming months, much higher, much higher. This is the area, no doubt. It's going to be boring. It's going to take, maybe months, right? Not only weeks. It's going to take months possibly to get a bit of choppiness. Might move up, then come back down. I think it's going to be, it's not going to be fast recovery, but no doubt this is going to go up in the next coming months. That is for sure. Okay, so it's already in a buying zone based on Elliott wave theory. We're already at the 7.8 Fibonacci. 0.88 would be the ultimate zone right there as a great buying opportunity, because you are looking at this to bottom out in the next coming months to then form that massive impulsive wave to the end of the year, right, entering into 2025. So that is what I could say here about Moon River. Okay, this is very wicky, very choppy. You've got a lot of wicks. This is a lot of wicks up and down. I really wouldn't like to say this is a good long right now for a swing long, right? Low leverage, yes. You can do a 2x swing long position, 1.5x. Be ready to add a little bit more if you have your liquidation price here at $5, right? It's just, yeah, I would rather buy and hold these volatile altcoins. Legends, thank you very much for joining the stream. You guys are epic. I'll be back tomorrow with more. There is some news that I wanted to take a look at. BlackRock bought 9 times more Bitcoin than there was mined today. All this is great. Macro bullish news. We have the altcoins at the ultimate, levels of basically no volatility, meaning that we're likely going to see a bull market cycle, of course, on altcoins in the next coming weeks, coming months, right? The timing is there, weeks, months, really all depending on Bitcoin. We do have Hong Kong Bitcoin ETFs that have 3,690 Bitcoin worth 250 million. You would expect more, right, from Hong Kong. This is kind of very, very, very low compared to the US. Only BlackRock bought 4,170 Bitcoin just a few days ago, right? That's much more than what Hong Kong is holding. Anyway, legends, thank you very much for joining the stream. I'll be back with another stream tomorrow.